Jew year, Jew me, come to Israel today. I'm just fucking with you. Welcome back to the Short News Podcast. Happy Hanukkah, belated. Happy Christmas, also belated. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Festivus, happy whatever you celebrate. We love you for it. We love you because of it. We love you in spite of it. Whatever you want. It's New Year's Eve. And this is the Short News Podcast. I said that twice, but it's a cold open. I don't give a fuck. Here's the theme song.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
What year has Jonah?
And welcome back. This is going to be a short one today. I know the show is called the Short News Podcast, and we've been moving in that shorter direction. Contrary to popular belief, yes, I just slurred my speech there. I'm sorry. What do you expect from me? It's New Year's Eve. Contrary to popular belief, the show is not called the Short News because I'm a short guy. Although two things can be true at one time. 5'7.5". Don't spread that around. Don't tell people. He says on a podcast, on a condenser microphone, on a studio setup where his voice is buttery and clear, saying I'm 5'7.5". Anyways, no, it started out in 2019 as like a 40-second show. I'd come on here and I would say something like, "This just in," or I don't know, "Welcome back to the Short News. Donald Trump said that he thinks that Joe Biden is gay. This has been the Short News," or some stupid shit like that. And then Anchor, because Anchor wasn't purchased by Spotify at the time, reached out to me and they were like, "We would like to acquire your show. This is a genius idea. No one's ever done it before." I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure short form media has been around for a very long time. They're like, nobody's doing it like you. It's the most half-assed format. I'm sitting in my office as an IT technician at the time with my coworker and we're giggling, going like, this is fucking stupid. Can't believe this is on an RSS feed and people are enjoying it. They're like, "Yeah, can we take this? Can we buy this from you?" And I never replied because I didn't believe in the project. And then, I don't know, 6 months later, I was out of a job and I came back to it and I was like, well, I'm taking this public speaking course in college anyways. And it's really empowered me to enjoy the sound of my own voice. So I'm going to go ahead and speak for way too long, for like 3 hours, 90 minutes to 3 hours sometimes, because I don't know, I guess I just really loved the way that I sounded on a studio microphone with a compressor. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this. I have so many stories about my life to tell that have nothing to do with current events. Let me try to weave them in. And it was kind of a personal journal type of show for a long time, disguised as a social commentary show or a political commentary podcast. And now we're doing the thing. Here we are in 2025. I think I've exhausted the talking about myself thing to the point where I would much rather talk about how we are inching closer and closer to the end of the world every single day. With things like AI, automation, how 1% of the population owns the majority of the wealth and won't give it up. You know the drill. You know the deal. The island, the private island with that guy, Jeffrey. We all know Jeffrey. Come on. You know Jeffrey, right? Someone's listening. I was like, no, I don't. Why are you saying it like he's my friend? Jesus Christ, Alex. Come on. We all know Jeffrey here. We were all on that island, right? Who amongst us didn't go to that private island? Who amongst us wasn't invited on the plane, right? Right, guys? Come on. I can't be the only one. I'm joking. I was like 12 when all of that was happening. That doesn't make it better. That doesn't make it any more or less believable. That just keeps it right where it is. No, it's fine. I was 12. It's like when I tell people the story of how I met Chris Hansen in a hot tub in Colorado and they were like, ew. What the fuck were you doing, you creep? And I was like, no, I was 8. And they're like, that's even worse. What the fuck? Were you a victim? And then I go, no, I was with my dad. And they're like, oh my God, what did your dad do to you? And I'm like, no, we were on vacation. They were like, that's even fucking worse. And I'm like, he was just chilling at the same resort as us, at the same spa. And he was like, yeah, you guys can have a seat over here with me in my hot tub. And he was telling us funny stories about the show. It was completely innocent. I was 8, meeting Chris Hansen in a hot tub. Yeah, a lot of you people who have met Chris Hansen in a hot tub, you guys weren't innocent. I was, motherfuckers. So before you say, well, who amongst us for that one? No, you can't say it for that one. I was joking about the things I was saying that about too. Except for a few episodes when I said, well, who amongst us hasn't sucked a little dick? Do with that what you will. Do with that what you must. Clip it, take it out of context, show it to your aunt, show it to my aunt. I don't give a fuck what you do with it. Happy fucking New Year. This episode is going to have no purpose other than me reflecting on the last year of the Short News podcast, which has only been 8 weeks, 8 episodes of me consistently doing this, and this one is late. And I'm sorry about that. I've been a little busy, and I don't really have any material prepped, in case you haven't noticed from me reflecting on the past like an old man. I'm 29 now. I started this show when I was, 24? I was young, and now I'm old. Look at us. Look at us go. Look at us grow. Isn't it great? Isn't it beautiful? The way life is, where the same fascists can get elected twice. That's the only reason I'm really back, guys. It's because Trump got reelected. If we had another year of boring Democrat presidents, I wouldn't be coming back on here to protest against them, I don't think. I left when Biden was president, which, okay, maybe that was the wrong thing to do, because I feel like maybe we all did that collectively. We're like, well, we got him in, so not really our responsibility anymore. I'm tired. I can tune out now. This has been stressful enough. And I left. I mean, that and a bunch of other sequences of events in my life that caused me to rethink my time in the podcast space. It caused me, to exit the podcast space. But I never said I left. I was always like, yeah, I'm planning a comeback. I didn't feel like the podcast was gone. Every now and then I would hop on here and I would say some shit, and I'd be very blackout drunk off of potato vodka and sadness, alone in my kitchen trying to make something work that wasn't ready to work again. I don't know. I guess I lost the plot. And I had like a few years there. Wow. A few years. Not a couple. Like 3. Where I fucking crashed out. I didn't know how to regulate. And that's not really something that you should be struggling to learn how to do on a condenser studio microphone setup. To your RSS feed of loyal listeners who were at the time probably going, hey man, I don't really like this anymore. I think you should take a break. And every time I'd come back, I would be like, oh, I am so back. We are so back. And I was drunk off of fucking strawberritas, perpetually getting broken up with, and not dealing with any of it off mic, not dealing with any of it, period. When that kind of shit takes work, it's not something that you can be doing out loud to your RSS feed, especially when some of your listeners consist of the people who keep, for one reason or another, checking back to see, okay, has he finally stopped crashing out? Has he finally learned to regulate himself? Like it's some sort of canary in a coal mine. And there was a lot I had to come to terms with in my life, whether it be the way I've been the past few years or the way I've been the last decade, which has only perpetually beaten myself into a deeper grave. Like, let's start here. Self-esteem, self-worth, self-perception in general, identity, etc., etc. Am I just throwing random philosophy words out? No, this is going somewhere. I hated myself for the longest time, and I was the type of person who would often punish himself because in the back of his head, but also in the front of his head, he didn't feel that he deserved good things when they'd happen or good people in his life when they would enter it. And I sabotaged so many good things for myself because I felt like, well, I'm a piece of shit. I don't really deserve any of this. It's going to go away anyways. And that turned into a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're constantly worried about something being fleeting because you feel like you don't deserve it, then you're going to end up proving yourself right in your self-doubt because you're only subconsciously, but also consciously, causing yourself to push those things or those people away. If you're only thinking about the negative side of something or losing something or the fact that you don't deserve something, that's the energy that you're bringing into it. Other people notice, whether it be a job interview, whether it be a relationship, whether it be your job in general, or the way that you approach emergencies, tasks, or just high intensity situations in general. The way that you carry yourself needs to be authentic in your belief in yourself. Because whether people realize it or not, they naturally, instinctually see through that. If you're bullshitting, they're going to know because you know. Because you don't believe in yourself. So you're not going to be yourself. You're not going to do the best things for yourself in that job interview, in that relationship, in that podcast, in that endeavor, whatever it is. I said this last episode. 2025 has been the first year that I can honestly, wholeheartedly say that I believe in Alex Mador. And that sounds corny. It sounds cheesy. It sounds stupid. It sounds silly. But if you've known me since the beginning of this journey, the episodes of this podcast that span all the way back to 2019, 2020, if you know me from TikTok, if you know me from real life, and you're checking in for some reason, being like, has he figured it out? Has he finally figured it out? No, I'm not going to say that I finally figured it out. We never fully figure things out. We're just constantly in the state of figuring things out, in the constant state of becoming. We never become until our dying day. And then whatever's written on the headstone and the obituary and gets passed down as our legacy, that's what has become. But when you're alive, you're in the constant state of becoming, of learning from your mistakes, of changing. That's never over. You're never a finished product, and you never fully figure it all out. But at least if you're in the process of figuring things out, if you're in motion and not stagnant and sitting in your own wallowing, asking people to feel bad for you like I used to, that's motion, man. That's what beating on boats against the current really fucking means. When Fitzgerald would write that in The Great Gatsby. I'm going to try to tie this all together, and it's going to be really stupid. In that great American novel about the American dream and how it's all a fucking lie that's just set up to fuck you over and make you feel like you're not good enough. It never went away after the 1920s, right? It's not that people still come to this country and think that the streets are paved in gold and that if they can't make it on their own, then they can't make it anywhere or they're just a lost cause. We have different things that we feel inadequate about. We don't make enough money. Yeah, that's still one. I think a lot of us feel that way, but I think we all are starting to realize it's not necessarily our fault. Once you look into what capitalism and or late stage capitalism is all about, but we feel like, we're not tall enough in some cases, or we're not smart enough, or we're not competent enough, or you're not pretty enough, not skinny enough, not fit enough, not nice enough, not trying hard enough, or just, I don't know. There's so many ways that this society, specifically American society, is very proficient and very adequate at making you feel inadequate. But if you can look in the mirror and truly feel satisfied with the way that your life is going, not with the way that your life is, with the way that your life is going, big difference. then man, you're doing it right. You're doing something right. And you can slow down a little bit. It's a fucking rat race. It's a stressful one. And even if it's just for today, just for tonight, whenever you're listening to this, take a second to just, I don't know, account for the progress that you've made this year, whether it's a little or whether it's a lot. I'm sure it's a lot. Write it down, make a list, check it twice, and read it a couple of times. Yeah, because I'm sure it's more than two things. And you're going to feel great after you realize how much you've accomplished this year. And I may not know you. We may have never met each other, or we may not speak anymore. But whoever you are out there, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you've overcome, proud of how you've faced every single challenge that life has shoved in your face, and I know it hasn't been easy. Proud of how you've gotten past those that have hurt you, learned to trust again, maybe not, and just woken up every day and continued instead of staying stagnant and wallowing and drowning in that wallowing. People may not give you credit, but you did it without anybody else's life vest. And if you ask me, that's a pretty fucking big accomplishment. So, whoever you are out there, I'm proud of you. And I didn't want to make a long episode because I'm going to go party with my friends and enjoy the company of people. But until next year, so a couple of days, I'll be back with some news, some actual current events. I want to rant about like how big corporations have made human employment annoying to consumers by understaffing places like Walgreens intentionally, so that when the automation comes down or comes around, it feels like someone's always there for you, even though it's not someone. It's a chat bot in a cash register. So we'll get there. We'll talk about all of that. I promise. I will be back in a couple of days. And I'm sorry that this episode was late, but I didn't want to talk news this week. And I had a lot going on work related. We had a lot of patients pass, and I don't want to talk about it. But I appreciate each and every one of you that has stuck with this show since 2019 or since whenever you've listened. You've seen me in a lot of different forms, a lot of ways, shapes, and forms, and I'm hoping that this is the one that sticks. For the first time in many, many years, I can truly say that I feel like a non-disassociated version of myself, and one whose company that I enjoy in the moments when I'm alone with my thoughts. That is why this podcast is able to happen again. So thank you for coming back. Thank you for listening. And if you, any of you, I don't care who the fuck you are, need anything, and you just need to feel less alone or whatever, because I know where you've been. I know how you've felt because I've been there too. It's a lonely fucking world right now, and it's a scary one at that. My DMs are open. My block list is empty. I'll be around. Just, I don't know, limited tonight because of fun. But I appreciate you guys. And this has been the Short News Podcast. This will continue to be the Short News Podcast. And I will see you next year, again, in a few days. I just want to add that reassurance there. I appreciate you. I've said that like 5 times, but I do. And I'll see you on the next one, where we'll make fun of the president, the greatest president of all time, believe me. I sucked Bill Clinton off. I sucked it, believe me. Bye, guys.